Welcome to the Power of Your Mind podcast. I'm Victoria Gallagher, your host. Have you been attempting to use law of attraction or hypnosis to attract financial abundance, a soulmate, or career success? Would you like to be happy, motivated, and successful? Have better health, enjoy more fulfilling relationships, overcome struggle, and gain mastery over your life? Then join me on this amazing self-help podcast where you'll unleash the power of your mind. I'll be sharing 20 years of wisdom and techniques of hypnotherapy, law of attraction, visualization, meditation, personal growth, positive affirmations, and other effective methods to help you tap into the great power which resides in your mind and become the best version of yourself. Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. You are listening to episode number 69. I'm Victoria Gallagher, Law of Attraction coach and #1 best-selling author of Practical Law of Attraction. Align yourself with manifesting conditions and successfully attract your desires. I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist, founder of HipTalk.com and HypnoCloud apps. So be sure to stop by HipTalk.com and sign up for your free self-hypnosis video training course. And for our listeners who found us through the Power of Your Mind podcast, you can get 35% off your first order of hypnosis downloads when you apply the code podcast to your shopping cart. Also, be sure to download our latest HypnoCloud app in the iTunes store. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Michael Losier. Michael Losier is a resident of British Columbia's beautiful capital city, Victoria, on the west coast of Canada. He is a world-renowned best-selling author of Law of Attraction, the Science of Attracting More of What You Want and Less of What You Don't Want, and Law of Connection, the Science of Using NLP to Create Ideal Personal and Professional Relationships. And he also wrote his most recently published book, Your Life's Purpose: Uncover What Really Fulfills You, to help those who were unable to pinpoint what they really want in life and what they need to be experiencing to live their life's purpose. Michael Losier was interviewed by the world-renowned Oprah Winfrey on her popular Soul Series show on Oprah Radio on SiriusXM satellite radio 4 times. He then went on to host his own show on Oprah Radio for a year. And Michael wants to help you ditch your emotional baggage and physical pain, and he'll be able to help you to understand how it's from trapped, unprocessed negative emotions. So today, Michael is going to be sharing some of his insights about harnessing the power of your mind by using the emotion code to delete chronic pain from old, unprocessed emotions. So welcome to the show, Michael.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Victoria.
Hello. So it's so good to have you on this show. This is our second time doing an interview on Power of Your Mind podcast. First time, I believe you were helping us talk about, and I think this is even before I finished publishing my book, but you were helping people to publish books because, I mean, you've published so many books.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. We got excited in that show. We were giving tons of tips away. So
we were, and it obviously helped me. So thank you so much for that. And so you have been very involved recently in this thing called emotion code, which is taking the world by storm. The emotion code, and there's a chart here that he's showing us for those of you who are listening, and it has various different columns, various different emotions, and how it impacts us. So who actually originated this emotion code?
It's the book by Dr. Bradley Nelson.
Bradley Nelson, okay. And yeah, I saw him. There was a movie recently that came out. I'm not going to remember the name of it, but he was in that movie along with some other people who deal with energy tapping. And this is all about all of the kind of energy work and emotions. And
yeah, it's very energy work. And he, I think the book came out in 2007 or 9. So it's very new. And there's about 3,000 practitioners trained in the world to be able to do this work. And the work meaning how to delete unprocessed negative emotions from somebody's past.
Wow.
Negative emotion is the one that's dragging them down, or it's causing them heartache, or it's causing bad habits, or, it's an old problem or challenge their parents had and they picked it up, and it's causing physical pain, arthritis. It's causing tingling feet and numb fingers and bad elbows and stiff necks and poor jaws and sinus congestions. And all of it is caused by one thing. It's caused by an old, unprocessed emotion. And people say, well, what does that mean, unprocessed? Well, you and I, like everyone else, has had a negative experience in our life. And then we hold it in. Tell anybody, we don't get ticked off. We don't say, dear diary, my life sucks. Like we didn't, in law of attraction, we tell people not to be negative, but it's okay to be negative as long as you do it briefly. So, you and I, it's like, okay, I don't like this. I'm ticked off. I'm really angry. Okay, what do I want instead? If you hold it in, you don't tell anybody, then it stays within you. And it's the size of a baseball. And they're called trapped emotions. And the word trapped is insinuating that it's not good.
Yes, exactly.
Ball of energy. You can't see it on an x-ray, but it is the reason why people are having neck pains and back pains. Matter of fact, every time you have an accident or a trauma or an operation, the emotions that you were experiencing during that event get lodged within you and they stay trapped.
You know what? That is so true. I want to ask you a couple other questions, but remind me to ask you about my lung surgery.
Okay.
Because it's interesting. But how did you just discover or stumble upon this link between emotional baggage and this physical pain? Because I've read about this. Louise Hay kind of talks about it. Carolyn Myss talks about this. How did you?
I've tried everything. I was limping for 5 years. I hurt my knee at the gym, and I stopped going to the gym, and then my knee hurt. And I was limping, and I'm going up and down stage. I'm traveling the world, and when the weather hit, it was just always aches and pains, and I just hated that. And after spending $5,000 on a chiropractor, I went every week for 52 weeks. And it would feel good for a couple of days, and then on day 3, I'd feel that little pinch coming back. But you know what the pinch was? It's an unprocessed trapped emotion. And with all due respect to the chiropractor and massage, they move the emotions during the appointment, so it feels good. And then those emotions that are still there go to the weakest part of your body, which was where? Your lower back or whatever you went for. But there's only one thing that'll ever delete those emotions. It's not chiropractic, it's not sage, it's not mint tea, it's none of those things. This right here, a magnet. And this is a toy. These are toy magnets. This magnet will delete that baseball size emotion forever.
Interesting. So what would you say to a person who they experience that chronic back pain, and then their doctor tells them, well, the only way that you're going to get better is, you've got this thing that's out of alignment with this, or you've got cartilage bone on bone, or blah, 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 that kind of thing. And then you have to get surgery. How does that play into this?
Well, I'm only going to tell you from my own experience. I have a friend that kept talking about hip surgery. That's all he ever talked about. It consumed him. Now, as I learn more about the emotion code, when I work with somebody that has any body pain, the first thing that I do with them, because people say my left shoulder, my left this, my left that. Well, it means that your energy is imbalanced. So I literally find out how many trapped emotions are keeping your neck and your spine out of alignment. They're the size of a baseball. Imagine them pushing up. Imagine this is a railway track, and now it's not nice. You know why people get headaches? There's not energy getting to the head because the neck and the spine. So they might have 10 emotions. Then I get their neck and their spine lined up. Now energy's flowing. Then I do their left shoulder, their right shoulder. Then I do their left hip and their right hip, and then I do their spine and their hips, and now everything's operating.
Wow.
And people's body will often settle while I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be in person. Matter of fact, all of my clients are over the phone or Skype. I'm doing it, and you can see them just sink in the chair. So imagine getting rid of 15 baseball-sized balls of energy from your shoulder. So I said, so when I started doing this, people would say, oh yes, I can move my hips now, and they would squat, and they'd walk around the room, and they'd yell at me, and they said, what did you do? Oh my God, I'm climbing the stairs, and they're so excited.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, so my friend, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just going to show you what's in Michael Losier's head. So here's the hip. This is happening with the hip.
Yep.
Trapped emotions, we're stopping this from moving. So I thought, well, it doesn't cost anything to try except 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I did an emotion coach session with my friend. I found 3 trauma energies in his hip, and these were his hips. And as I did it, he did this. And then he stood up straight. And that energy that was causing this now was doing this.
Oh my goodness. Now, do you believe that the emotions or the body parts, do they relate to particular emotions?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Dr. Bradley Nelson, who was a chiropractor, studied it for years. He developed a system. Mm-hmm. He saw lots of relationships between organs mm-hmm. and what the challenge was. I'll just give you a couple of examples. So these are emotions that collect around our heart. Mm-hmm. And not the heart as the blood vessel, but the heart is in feeling. So, mm-hmm. and there's something called the heart wall. And what happens in an ended relationship where we didn't process the emotions, a lot of people, they end a relationship and they get ticked off and they never talk, so they're unprocessed. Now these emotions are collected around their heart. So the pureness of their heart is compromised by some of these relationship issues. Mm-hmm. Now, cue law of attraction, what's happening? Now they're sending this unprocessed trapped emotion of abandonment, and it would be against the law for law of attraction to bring them more abandonment. So they keep saying what? Why does everybody keep abandoning me? The vibration of abandonment. So listen to some of these emotions that collect around the heart. Okay. Abandonment, betrayal, lost, love unreceived, heartache, insecurity, vulnerability. These ones will be interesting. Now, these are ones that collect around the liver. Okay. And this will explain when people drink, they disrupt the liver. So the liver is out of harmony. And here's the 5 emotions that get flared up. Anger, bitterness, guilt, mm-hmm. hatred, and resentment.
That makes sense. So you're saying like when somebody drinks too much, they start to feel these emotions.
Well, these emotions were already around their liver, but now they get woken up.
They get triggered.
Clicking on them. It's all of a sudden because the liver is saying, "Oh, I'm out of sorts. I'm not working properly. I get too much liquor in my liver, right?" And anger, bitterness, and that's. But when people smoke marijuana, for example, it doesn't affect an organ, so that's why people say, "Well, don't they get?" No, because it doesn't get affected. This one here, people that are, and I've done a show on it. It's okay to say it. People that urinate excessively. Mm-hmm. You know why? They've got unprocessed trapped emotions pushing up against their bladder. And as soon as I release them, people say, "Oh, they'll touch their belly. They'll say, "Oh, I could feel that. Like the pressure's gone." And there's 10 of those possible emotions. Wow. And there's also emotions around sexual organs. So mm-hmm. people that have had sexual challenges in the past or abuse, these emotions store there, and then they affect their behavior, their disinterest in intimacy, and so on. So, yeah, all the emotions are by organ.
And that does that relate at all to the chakra system? Are you familiar with?
Chakras are different, but when I work with somebody that wants to know about their chakras, there's 6 of them, mm-hmm. and their optimization's 100. And I always say, "Well, where's my heart chakra operating?" It'll say 82. Mm-hmm. And I'll say, "Which trapped emotions are causing it to not be 100?" I find it, I delete it. Then I say, now where's my heart chakra? Oh, it's at 100. Okay. How about my crown chakra? So I'll go through all the chakras, and they're like little mini fans, right? And now if the fan's not speeding because there's something in the way, like there's a pencil. This is a pencil in the fan.
Yeah.
And then I pull them up, and then all the fans are blowing, right? And then people can feel that right away.
Wow. Oh, okay, that's really interesting. So you mentioned that law of attraction and emotion code are best friends. So how can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, you see, law of attraction is always responding to your vibration, right? If I'm sending a negative vibe, now it doesn't mean I have to be a negative person, right? As you know, I can just be thinking about something that I don't want. I don't have to be negative. But boy, I'll attract it. So law of attraction doesn't know that you and I are positive people and we wrote positive law of attraction books. It's responding to our vibe. So say, for example, somebody does work around relationships. They want to attract an ideal boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, and they get really clear about that. But what they can't get rid of is the vibe that they're sending about relationships. And their vibe is contaminated with the previous relationship. So they'll attract partners, but they'll be part of that vibe. That's why people say, I keep attracting this. Now, when I work with somebody that wants to attract anything, they want to attract customers or clients or better health, I always say, let's clean up your sore spots. Because picture us having vibes. And it's like, oh, my back, rocket of negative emotion. Oh, my back, rocket. So again, I'm not a negative person, but I'm sending this irritant, sore vibe all the time. And with law of attraction, it doesn't know where it comes from. It doesn't know if I'm remembering or pretending or have a sore back or what. It's just responding to that irritant. So let's clean up the physical pain. And then it's like, I feel great. And already you can feel your vibe resetting. And then you can work on the mental challenges and blocks and things like that.
That makes sense. So we want to ultimately use the emotion code to clear up the resistance.
That's right. Unknown resistance. It's
the unknown resistance.
Yeah, I get rid of my don't nots and no's, and I really believe it. And another thing that I do a lot is people's beliefs. On one hand, they say they want to have something, and with law of attraction, we spend a lot of time teaching them to look for proof, and that's very helpful because when I can prove that I'm attracting things, then my belief about law of attraction is really opened up, and it's opened up. It means I don't have any doubt about it. But also your beliefs can be old, unprocessed, trapped emotions as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and just as a quick little story, depending on where you live, I don't know if they experience it in your neighborhood, but seasonal allergies. People get runny noses and they get watery eyes, and it's usually around when there's a certain smell in the air. So everyone believes it's the pollen, but it's actually one trapped emotion. And it's the trapped emotion of conflict. And what that meant was not you, but people that have these allergies were experiencing conflict, and that smell was in the air. And just like NLP, they got locked together.
Yes, it kind of got anchored into that smell, that trigger.
Boom, it goes back, and then your body reacts. So when I'm doing an emotion code session, I find that trigger. It could be one or two, but it's usually always conflict, and then I delete it with the magnet because I'm their proxy. I don't want to take it on, and the magnet's stronger than the emotion. And just during a call like this, they start to breathe better. I met my trainer at the gym 12, 13, 14 months ago. And the very first session I had, I was laying on the mat. He was giving me an assessment, and his nose was runny and his eyes were runny, and he had a puffer, and he's using the puffer, and he goes, oh my God, it's the worst time of the year. I said, it's January. What is the worst time of the year? Like he said, no, I have seasonal allergies all the time. Of course, I travel with the magnet. Yes, the gym. I actually have them hidden at the gym around different places in the gym. People come up to me and ask me for a session. I got rid of his seasonal allergies in under 13 seconds, and he hasn't had sniffles, and he hasn't used a puffer in 14 months.
If you find value in this personal growth related material, I strongly recommend that you sign up for your $1 trial to my Personal Growth Club. Just head on over to personalgrowthclub.com and get a whole month of premium personal growth club video training materials, meditations. You also get 6 free hypnosis sessions that are valued at over $174, all for this trial of just $1. Even if you cancel, you can keep the 6 hypnosis sessions. That's my gift to you, and that's how confident I am that you are going to love Personal Growth Club. Go to personalgrowthclub.com and start your $1 1-month trial today. Yeah, I totally believe in that, those allergies are really just anchored to some emotional trigger that, sometimes it's just a confusion between also not liking something. My dad always said that he didn't like that he was allergic to cats. But then one day, because he was in my house and he wasn't having any kind of episodes, and if you were allergic to cats and you come into my place, you're going to have problems. But and then one day it just kind of slipped out that he said, I don't like cats. So it was like a confusion, because I think you can trick yourself into being allergic to something as well, just by, I
went with the guy, he lived in New York, not his adult life, but his mom used to take him there in the summer. So I worked with him a lot. He said, this is going to sound weird, but he goes, I think I'm allergic to New York in the summer. Odd thing to say, but you and I, with this conversation, we would say, New York would smell different in the summer. There could be doesn't have to be pollen, by the way. And I tested through muscle testing, and sure enough, and we tested, it was like July 3rd that this triggered, and we found out that he experienced conflict when he was younger. So what I'd like to do is demonstrate the keys to the emotion code process, then talk about what they are. And I know we've got a podcast audience, so I'm going to show the word for the viewers. You're going to read the word. These are the keys to the emotion code process. I'm a certified emotion code practitioner, and all of my sessions are done on Skype or on a video or telephone. And I also do in-person presentations. It's a sales presentation. It's like, here's what I do. I stop people on the street. I stop people at the gym. I talk to people in the airport, and I have my magnet work. Yeah,
I'm actually going to be seeing you at one of your upcoming presentations here in a few days.
Yes, great. Okay, so first, here's key number 1. What is that?
That is the emotion code chart.
That's right. It's the emotion code chart developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. There's 60 possible unprocessed emotions. They all relate to a different organ. So there's 60 on the chart. Mm-hmm. They're in 2 rows, because when I'm helping to find out I got to find them fast, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, now, am I going to guess what the emotion is? No, I'm going to be using what's called
muscle testing.
That's right. So I have an agreement with my body that says, I want you to lock up my fingers when it's a yes, and let them slip through, or let it go if it's a no. So right now I have 2 fingers like I'm pinching. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put another finger through.
Okay sign.
Yeah, perfect. The okay sign. See how I'm butting up to that? So that's a yes. Let it go if it's a no.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use muscle testing to help me find the answer. I'm not going to guess it. I'm not going to get a gut feeling. I'm not going to pretend. It's a solid yes. Now, so I'm going to be using muscle testing. I'm going to use the emotion code chart. Before we get started, I always like to know about what is the
severity on a scale of 1 to 10. How severe is it?
Yeah, because I want to know my work, right? If you say, okay, I got lower back pain, it's a 9. Well, we have to measure that. My goal is always a 0 within minutes, by the way. So I need to know the severity. Now, I'm going to do this on your behalf.
Oh, sure.
And that means I'm going to become your proxy.
Okay.
You know, if I was going to vote on your behalf, so guess what? And it's like I'm going to tap into your Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Because you and I both know our subconscious mind knows everything we touched and read, and so it's all stored back there. We don't want it in our consciousness because it's too much information.
Yeah.
So you're going to give me permission, which is the next key.
Permission. Holding up a green card with permission on it.
Right. Otherwise, I'd work on my neighbors and I'd work on my friends without them letting me. So permission is like the password. You and I, you know how everybody says we're all connected? Yes, we all are.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to your subconscious mind using muscle testing. I can only ask yes or no questions, and I need your permission. Now, I'm going to muscle test. I'm going to scan the list. I'm going to find the emotion, and here's what gets rid of it.
The magnet. The magnet is what gets rid of it. And he's holding up a purple card with the word magnet on it.
That's right. And it's just a household magnet. You know, I like these little oblong, they're actually called rattlesnake eggs. I like how they fit in my hand, like they're not really thick. Okay. And it could be a household magnet, you know, this little flat magnet, so, you know, a fridge magnet or whatever. And then when you take the magnet, because if you imagine that you and I are connected by a little tiny thread, I'm going to break the thread in front of my face.
Okay.
It's doing more than that, but just as people are watching.
Okay.
That's all the elements.
Those are all the elements. Okay.
Now, I'm able to, you know, people have neck pain, shoulder pain, minutes to get rid of all that. But today we're not going to work on pain with you. Tell me a subject that, there's an area that there's a block. You know, it's not fully what you want, or you're getting what you don't want. Or give me an idea what that might be. Okay,
so in order for me to have the most perfect seminar, I feel, I would like to have 20 people at my seminar, and which is in 2 days. And I've been stuck at 19, and I've been trying to figure out, well, maybe there's a reason why, maybe you know, it's because I've been too attached to perfection. You know, I've just been trying to let it go, but I know that I haven't let it go because I keep checking.
Emotion.
What emotion?
Or maybe it's an emotion.
Maybe it's an emotion, you know.
So if you're watching, we're talking about the emotion code. I'm a certified emotion code practitioner. My job is to find out, asking her subconscious mind, Victoria's subconscious mind, only yes or no questions, to find out what is stopping her from getting 20 out of 20. She's one away. What is the block? It's always energy. So we're going to have fun. So now I'm muscle testing, you know, and I'm going to show one more sign. Here's another critical step to the whole process, is that I need to be hydrated practitioner. It's a good thing that you need to be hydrated because I'm not. And that does, it access the conductivity. So I'm just going to muscle test right now with Victoria Gallagher. I have her permission. That's important. I'm hydrated, and I'm just connecting with, there we go. So right now, watch my fingers. See, am I Michael? No. Am I Victoria Smith? Am I Victoria Gallagher? Yes. Okay. Victoria. So the first thing I want to do, this is I'm going to ask you about what your beliefs are. Four of them. Would it be okay for me to have 20? Would it be safe? Am I worthy? And do I believe it? So we'll see. Okay. Just checking with Victoria. Good. So you know what? My conscious mind has decided my ideal seminar room is 20 ideal clients. Is that a 100% decision? It is. Would it be okay if I got 20? It wouldn't be. Would it be safe if I got 20? It would say they're all slipping. No. Am I worthy of getting 20? I'm not. And do I even ever believe I can get a full 20? I don't. How many trapped emotions are causing these beliefs? Under 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just one. So I got to hunt on the chart. I'm going to take some shortcuts, though. Remember I said there's 2 columns? Yeah. It's column A. No. So boom. I just cut the list in half. Just cut half the list. Just like that. So it's column B. Now I can say what row. Is it row 1, 2, 3, 4? It's row 4. Is it 1? It's frustration. Okay. Do I need to know more? So would it be okay for me to get 20 ideal clients at every seminar, including this one coming up? It wouldn't be. Is it frustration? Now I'm deleting it. Would it be safe for me to have ideal 20 people every time I offer it? Would that even be safe? It wouldn't be. Is it frustration? Deleting frustration. Am I even worthy of having 20 ideal every time, including this time? No. Is it frustration? And do I even believe I could ever have a nice full room of 20? I don't. Is it frustration? Deleting frustration. Okay, I want to ask those 4 questions again.
Hello, this is Victoria Gallagher. I hope you're enjoying listening to the Power of Your Mind podcast. As a way of thanking you for listening, I'd like to offer you a one-time discount of 35% off your first order at hiptalk.com. Just go to hiptalk.com and enter the code PODCAST in the discount code area in your cart, and you'll receive 35% off your first order. Thank you so much for listening to the Power of Your Mind podcast.
So my conscious mind's decided the ideal amount in my room was 20. 20 ideal people at every seminar, every time I offered, until I want a new number, 20. Would that be okay? Yes. Would it be safe? Yes. Am I worthy? Yes. Do I believe it? Yes. So before this session, on a scale of 1 to 10, what was stopping and blocking 20? What was the percentage? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Now what's stopping and blocking 20? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we got it down to a 1. Is it an emotion? How many? 1. Is it mine? Yes. Is it A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1. Is it mine? It's absorbed. Okay, my dad's from absorbed. You picked this up from somebody else.
Oh.
When? How many weeks ago? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks ago. See, I'm just a yes or no question. So you were around somebody 10 weeks ago that had the trapped emotion of depression. You might have been consoling them. Probably were consoling somebody that wasn't feeling good about themselves, and you absorbed that. So now it takes 20 swipes. I'm deleting this absorbed depression that I picked up from somebody else. I'm deleting this absorbed depression. Deleting absorbed. Now what is the severity, blocking, stopping me from attracting 20 ideal clients every time? Is it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0? Okay, we're done.
We're done. Well, that is fascinating. That is fascinating. Wow. It'll be amazing because my phone will light up here in a moment with the notification that person has signed up.
It was funny today. Last week I did an emotion code presentation for 52 people, and I probably booked 30 appointments. So
oh, wow.
Every time I turn up, someone's booking an appointment. So I'm talking to my friend today, and he heard my computer was going ding. He said, "What's that?" I said, "It's like the Jerry Lewis telethon here. The phones are." He laughed so hard when I said that. And it really was. It was like a Jerry Lewis telethon. Phones were ringing. And
I had a similar situation where I was actually doing a Facebook Live and I was talking about my seminar, and like right in the middle of my Facebook Live, because I was doing it on my phone, I got the pop-up right on my phone, and it was like, so I kind of got to experience, because, each one, it's just, this is somewhat new territory for me. And so it's been really exciting, and I'm doing it in those 4 locations. And I made a decision that, I'm going to have, my first ones will be 20, my next ones will be 50. But right now it's 20 is all that I could handle.
And you have to calculate that. I do it too. It's like I learned this years ago about calculated risk. Mm-hmm. We're risk takers.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you got to book the right room size. There's lunch, there's all kinds of, there's workbacks, there's, all kinds of little things.
What? This is, even when for example, in my presentation in Phoenix, right? I'm actually coming to Scottsdale to chill out, but I can't just chill out. And I got a lot of friends in Phoenix, including you, that I wanted to see. So I put this event on, and the room was $100. In my head, it didn't matter. It was like, oh, so there's, one client, I'm going to do a presentation, hopefully 50 people. One client, a half-hour session will pay for that, right? So calculate the risk. But what I'm really excited about is coming back to Phoenix and doing a seminar for practitioners, mm-hmm. like a full-day seminar, teaching them everything that, that I know about how to build a business. So that I wouldn't do that the first time. How come? It was too big of a risk.
Exactly.
something for free. I hear it's a beautiful room, the building that I'm going to, and I might go in there and say, you know what? I'm going to attract 10 practitioners to spend 2 full days with me here. But to go there first, it's risky. But I'm calculating it. The next step will be like that. And then maybe the next time I'll get a hotel or, you know what? So I want everyone to hear that. Take a risk, but calculate it. You know?
I absolutely believe that that is a big key to law of attraction is you're never going to attract more unless you step out of your comfort zone. And so you have to take those risks. But if you take risks that are completely inconceivable, you can't even possibly fathom this thing happening, then you're going to reject it before it ever even becomes a non-starter.
Yeah, I'm reminded of one of the quotes in the training that we talk about, you and I. The speed at which you'll attract anything is determined on how much doubt you have in receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
So if my goal was to get 100 people and blah, 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 you know what? I have doubt about that because I haven't tested it yet. But can I get 50 people in a room for free? You know what? I can. You know how I know that? Because I got a huge history of it.
Yeah.
So I don't have any doubt. So I will get a full room. But if I was, if I thought, well, I'm now going to charge them $500, so now I have doubt about that. So it's all relative. If you attract it, you had no doubt. If it's still not coming, there's doubt in the way.
Right. Well, and it's interesting too, because I got a lot of great confirmation within the first 2 weeks that people were going to sign up for the seminar because people were signing up. So I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a thing. But then, there was a very long period of a drought where no one was signing up. And I'm thinking to myself, boy, I am sure glad that few weeks of a drought didn't happen at the very beginning when I first opened the opportunity. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have been able to believe it for 3 weeks straight with no signups.
You did a good job persevering. Here is the challenge with goal setting, because you have a goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have a goal of 20 people.
Yes.
Right? Goal setting is important because it sets the energy in motion. I want 20, boom, you just set the energy in motion.
Yep.
And some people, maybe you a little bit, then they spend their time keeping score that you're not there yet.
Yes, I know.
Right? So on the weekend, I did a law of attraction seminar for business people. And I said, take this exercise. Instead of noticing that you're not there yet, like for example, if you would go through those 19 people one by one, say, oh, Paul, here's what I like about Paul. He signed up right away, paid in full, and he bought his wife Betty. Here's what I like about Brenda. And if you went through and you plucked out 1 or 2 things, here's somebody that bought 2 tickets, 1 for a gift. Oh, I love that. Here's somebody I don't even know. Here's my friend Bob. He's a loyal client forever. Betty, if you can pull in all the things that you like about all of them, you cannot hold the vibration of the void of them. The law of attraction doesn't know that I call the game, here's what I like about. Here's what I like about Betty. Here's what I like about Bob. And as you start to pluck out everything you like, then cue the vibrational bubble guy. Remember him?
Yep.
Picture of a guy with the bubble around him. That's when, as you're noticing those 19 people, you're including the vibration of what you like about the 19 people instead of keeping score of the one that's not there.
Yeah, and I really want to acknowledge myself and those 19 people, because the thing is that that really took something for each. And I mean, some of those people, are flying out here to come and see me, which is like mind blowing to me. And
it's a responsibility, doesn't it?
It really does. And and the thing is I am so appreciative of each and every one of those 19 people. And so any lack is just sort of me getting caught up in the details of, it doesn't look exactly the way that I want it to look because one person is going to be without a partner. But I have a backup plan for that. I know exactly how to work with that scenario. And so, you're absolutely right. It is about focusing on seeing each and every one of their beautiful faces in their seats and doing the work and coming away with this amazing experience that they're going to have. And so that's putting myself in a positive vibe. And so I
perfect time to stretch that, and you could take 26. You've already stretched yourself to 20. You settled into it.
Yep.
More people in the room is not more work for you at all.
Yeah.
Good. So in wrapping up, here's what I'd like to do. On my website, which is right here, removetrappedemotions.com, I have a menu. And you know, like you order Chinese food, you tick it off. Well, that's what this is. You'll see this is a menu of all.
I love that. Let me pull that a little bit clearer. So anxiety, arthritis, back pain, let's see, getting creative blocks to love, blocks to money, that's a huge, extensive list of all kinds of things.
Constipation, crying easily, depression, eczema, grief, headaches, fibromyalgia, excessive sweating, panic attacks, phobia, resentment, shoulder pain, shyness, sinus. Go check out the list and plan your session. It's done over the phone or over Skype. And I ask people to choose 5 to 7 things.
Okay.
I can do in a 25-minute session.
And that's on removetrappedemotions.com.
It's removed. Singular. Remove.
You're right. Yes, I read that wrong. Remove trappedemotions.com. removetrappedemotions.com. And you can also follow Michael on his Facebook page, Michael Losier on Facebook. And
fans.
Say that again.
Michael Losier fans.
Michael Losier fans. So you can follow.
Michael Losier official, but it's too late for that.
Oh, there was. Yeah, that would have been good. Well, wow. So thank you so much for being on this show. And yeah, I would definitely suggest that you go to book a chat with Michael. You could do a room chat, video chat. You could be a recipient of an emotion code session. And so once again, for more information about this, visit his website, removetrappedemotions.com, and follow him on Facebook, Michael Losier fan. Is it singular or plural?
Michael Losier fans. Yeah.
Fans. And so thank you so much for being on the show and sharing this wonderful technique and strategy with us to help us with those unacknowledged, unnoticed sometimes.
Leftover. Just hanging around because we didn't process them.
Unprocessed, trapped emotions, so that we can enjoy a life of more freedom and choices and be able to attract more of the things that we do want in our life. So I look forward to seeing you at your upcoming event here in Phoenix. And then are you going to be doing any other events?
Not this time. I want to get a sense of the room. I've got 3 practitioners that I'm supporting there, so that's a nice base for me, right? Nice. They can promote. So this first trip, my calculated risk, first trip, free event, build some relationships there. I'm really doing it looks like I'm doing the emotion code presentation for the public, which I'm going to. I'm going to bring people to the front of the room and heal their chronic pain and so on. But I really want to get the attention of practitioners. I want to show them how I can help them build their business to be very successful. So that's my target. So I'll be doing stuff for the public, but I'm going to be showing off my speed to the other practitioners so they can be like me.
Very cool.
Okay, well, thank you for the interview. And
thank you.
It'd be nice to get an update somewhere in the post or something about the number of people that you attracted.
Absolutely. I will. Definitely. I will update you. Thanks so much for being a guest on Power Your Mind podcast.
Okay, we'll see you later.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with your friends. And once again, be sure to subscribe to the Power of Your Mind podcast if not already. We can be found as Hip Talk on all our social media accounts. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and sign up for your free self-hypnosis video training course at hiptalk.com. Be sure to subscribe to the Power of Your Mind podcast, and you'll be instantly notified the moment the next podcast becomes available. Also, please be sure to leave a rating and a review to tell us how you're enjoying these episodes, and that way you're making a contribution toward others getting to share in this valuable information. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. You've been listening to the Power of Your Mind podcast, brought to you by hiptalk.com, Personal Growth Club, and HypnoCloud apps available at iTunes.